What's up?
What's going on, man?
We're just catching up. It's
Yeah,
as Shane said, it's been a while.
That is a very, very good intro. Stained, man. Yeah. I got to apologize to Ian. He was a last-minute brought in guest thanks to Cash, so he's got the janky TV that we brought in backstage. So
it's all good.
We had to get his beautiful face on
that's kind of how
here.
I joined the band originally, right? It was just kind of a last-minute thing because of Cash.
Yeah, that's true.
So wait,
Save
okay.
the best for last, man. Save the best for last.
Explain that. Wait. So, talk about like how you guys formed. Like, I know it was like a high school band, but like, talk about it. Tell me about how you guys started.
It was definitely the most high school band a high school band could be. I think to the extent of rounding up the high schools to sell out the small shows like in the beginning. And then even to an extent to where I was able to get Johnson a zone variance transfer from his high school to Liberty just so he could play the school assembly because every person had to go to the school in order to play the assembly. So this man straight up, that's how dedicated he was. He straight up left his high school to play one show. It's the craziest thing it's awesome. So just through a high school, it just kind of formed that way through a couple of guitarists, through a couple different people, ins and outs, and then sooner but later, and a couple MySpace things later, and
yeah, that's kind of the early days. I mean, I was in a hardcore band that was semi-popular locally, and then we had kind of broken up, and Cash and our singer Alex kind of had a big type project, and they wanted to do a full band, and we ended up making a band and becoming pretty popular locally. And then once things started getting really serious, it was, we kind of unfortunately became apparent that we had to make some lineup changes. And so we let our original guitarist, Paul, go. And we were not searching for very long because we found Ian, and we quickly realized that Ian was probably a lot better than a lot of us, most of us in the band, and we were lucky to have him. So we didn't search very long. He was the first and only one that we actually ever tried out. So
yeah, one and done. I don't even think people, when it was getting set up, I remember talking to Ian a few times, and just randomly, he was like in Seattle. He just got done playing some gig. I think you were opening for some like Leonard Skinner cover band or something, just shredding it up with dudes that were like 35 years old and plus. And the footage was phenomenal through your cousin Shane. And he's like, yo, like Johnson just said, you don't even need to look. I already know who's doing it.
Well, I mean, growing up before we were signed and before we used to practice at this place called the Alamo, which was, I mean, I could go on for hours story about this place, but
yeah,
we would practice at this place called the Alamo. And I remember meeting Ian for the first time outside of the Alamo, and he had this big old, curly afro, and he was, skinny, and he had these glasses, and he was, I was like, man, I'd never met him. He was from Seattle. It was the first time I hadn't really known anybody I'd met somebody new from a new place that was coming here to play with us, and it was weird and awesome at the same time. And then as soon as he plugged in for the first time, it was like, holy crap, this is like your world opens up musically to have someone that talented. You know what I mean? It made our band so much better. It was awesome. It was great to have.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could say one thing, when I told the guys beforehand, before you got on, Ian, I was a huge fan of you guys to begin with, like in high school and whatnot. And I actually started looking into Tortuga pedals because of you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like, no joke.
Yeah.
My friend Matt Johnson started those up.
Yeah.
Always about the little guys, man. It's awesome.
Literally, I got like a Neptune right here. Like, no joke. So I use this baby all the time on stage.
Awesome,
That's
man.
super cool, man. I got one in the back room. I think I have like the serial number 3 one or something that I had like the road worn one that I had for years, and then I got another one from a friend that he ordered
Do you
before
still
I
have that? You still have that Sasquatch pedal or whatever it was, or what was that?
Yeah, I actually gave that particular one that I used. I gave that to Joey Thunder because you can use it for bass too. And
okay.
give him that to him for Christmas one year, I think. But yeah, I
I
still
remember you
use
used to always mess around with your pedals and stuff. It was so cool. I had no idea what the hell I was doing, but
sounds and...
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, dude. Yeah, I know Matt builds some great stuff.
Oh, it's great, man. Like you got weird, like you got nerdy bassists like me now, like throwing in a bass wolf on top of a Neptune, trying to get funky ass sounds. So,
that's cool, man.
I have to say,
that's awesome. I haven't heard that name in a minute. That's yeah. I still mess around with my Tortuga stuff all the time.
Well, it's good to hear that. Honestly, like I don't know a lot of people that run with that, so like it's cool that not only do I get to talk to the person who turned me onto it, but like I get to be like, yo, this is awesome.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
Right on.
Cool.
I'm trying to keep my like fanboying down. I'm trying to like be like, yo, I'm a musician too. I can keep up with these guys.
Nah, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
You are, man. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're in the midst of it.
I appreciate that.
They're good too, man. We get to hear that song, right? Like they're pretty like. I think we're old, man, and we were talking about it the other day, Johnson. Like it's like 10 years later type shit. These new bands coming out, man. Some of these bands are freaking good.
Well, I was talking before you got on. I mean, I don't know about you guys personally, but I mean, I know Ian's an old head, but I'm kind of an old head, and I don't search out a lot of new music. So, you know, to find a new band that's good was refreshing. You know, absolutely.
Well, I thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. But like, let's get back to why we're here. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the weirdness now, cause like as a musician, I know all the crappy like interview questions and like, hey, like tell us about this, tell us about that. We'll get into like writing and stuff, but like I gotta ask, weirdest thing ever to happen on tour, like to you guys. So, because every band has something different. Okay, I mean,
what's the rating?
I think of the most.
What's the rate? I mean, what?
Thing that I could discuss.
Are we 18 and over?
Yes. So like I said to, I think it was you, but we have a mature audience only like thing at the head of this. You have to be 18 or older. So if they click that, at least we forewarned them. So we can curse, we can do whatever. Just no nudity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
damn it.
Well, Cash caught me masturbating.
I was in Boston.
I remember seeing Cash's face walk back into the venue.
I'm just gonna lead with that, so I don't get exposed. I'm just gonna lead with that.
It was in Canada, wasn't it?
No, I think it was in Boston. Somewhere East Coast. I don't remember.
I thought it was in Vancouver.
No, but seriously, in Canada is where I got. Canada was bad for me, man. Going over the border, that was probably the worst day ever. That's pretty explicit.
Outside of Buffalo.
No, when they remember, like we lost, dude. We like who cares? We lost this like broken pipe.
Yeah, that was outside of Buffalo.
Up at
we were leaving Buffalo.
Yeah,
we were going into the French side of Canada. That's all I know, man. And sure enough, like 3 months, we can't find this thing. Nobody even thinks about it, but of course, the Border Patrol going into Canada totally finds this shit.
Yeah, we did a super deep clean like 2 days before. Like took the door panels off practically and cleaned shit. Still didn't find anything.
Wait, did you guys do the whole thing where you like get a hotel room and put your merch and like try to get all your shit in there so like you don't like get all the taxes and shit and you like hide your illegal stuff? Did you guys do that, or was it just more like, okay, we got some shit we got to get rid of? Like let's just get out.
We had done that a couple of times. Like we had gone to like Canada with like very limited inventory, trying to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's tough. I don't know
saying
about
we
now,
were giving some shit away
over the border.
Yeah, it was all promotional. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys tore it off. Border Patrol found it. Like what went down?
I don't know the story.
Well, this happened a few times, and I think these guys can. Like every time something like that would happen, like say somebody found marijuana, I was always the guy that's just like, yo, I got this, bro. Like I wasn't really too like ever freaked out about the whole ordeal. It happened multiple times. There was that one. Anyways, so this time I'm like, they're like, who is it? And they got this heavy ass French accent, and I'm like, fine. Like everyone's almost looking at me at this point, like, you know, you gonna fess up to this? Like, we gonna get over this? So, am I frozen, by the way? Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. It's frozen on my end. But yeah, so next thing I know, bro, this situation ends up taking like probably, if it wasn't 2 or 3 hours, it sure felt like this. I get thrown into this room with 2 French Canadian police officer ordeals or whatever. I get totally stripped of my entire dignity over this like half broken pipe that nobody knew existed for months and months and months. I come out so just like, I just remember feeling like so defeated after that situation. That was a weird experience. I had never experienced something like that.
I got another good story for you.
Go for it.
So we're driving through, I'm pretty sure it's Ohio. And
okay, so
I'm pretty sure
this has to be good.
Oh God, bro.
As soon as Ian just dies, like that's a good
pretty
sign.
sure it's Ohio. So I mean, I don't think it's a secret. A couple of us indulged in our marijuana in our day. So we had just, bought some weed, and we're driving on tour. I can't remember where we're going to, but we're driving through Ohio, and we've got a bunch of weed, and I think it's either in mine or Cash's suitcase, and it's kind of all in the pile in the front of the trailer, somewhere in there. So we get pulled over.
There was some in the van.
There was a little van too, yeah. So we get pulled over, and so Cash first off just eats all the weed in the van. So let's just throw that. Like that's just what happened. Like everything, just eats all the weed in the van. So that happened. And
by the way, we were pulled over because our trailer had no registration plate, and someone drew a huge penis on it.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of obscenities in our van. We were just a mess. And so we get pulled over, and they bring the K9 because they smell weed in the van. And they're like, okay. So they open up the trailer, and Alex Marshall, our keyboardist, his suitcase was right in front of my suitcase, or whoever's suitcase had the weed in it. I believe it was mine, but Marshall's suitcase was right in front. So the dog starts scratching at Marshall's suitcase like crazy, like figuring out. And so the cops just they straight up take Marshall's suitcase and just dump like the whole thing on the side of the road, go through all his stuff, don't find anything. And then magically, instead of just searching more, they're just like, what did they do? They were just like, okay, go on your way or something. Like, it was the weirdest fucking thing, but like, there's been some crazy.
I remember being on the side of the road with that situation, and I still had some on me I left the van I ate some in the van, and then on the side of the road there was more, and we flip and dip, like weren't looking type situation. And like Ian said, cellophane, everything just loop. Like it was rough that night. I remember not playing that show that night.
I remember like one of our first tours. I remember one of our first tours in like Bridge City, Texas, or something. We stayed at a hotel, and there was a swastika carved in the mirror.
That was the first night of tour. That was Baytown, South Baytown, Texas.
Yeah.
And it was that was the day we met We the Kings at the skate park.
My boys.
And then we played a show.
That's right. At the skate park. That's right.
There's
three kids. They hated us.
By the time We the Kings got done playing,
nah, dude, me and Danny
all those
were
kids wanted to
tight.
attack Travis. Remember, there's like that gang of like skate rats and then we all came together. That's my great friends. We had their back from day one.
Yeah, dude, literally.
We ended up on 8 tours with those fools.
Yeah, I just talked to Drew and Hunter the other day, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got my guitar amp attenuator back from Hunter after 14 years.
Like recently? That's awesome.
I get this random text from Hunter, and he's like, hey man, and I probably asked him like 7 or 8 times over the course of a decade, like, hey, do you know where that hot plate is for my amplifier? And he's like, yeah, man, I'll get it to you soon. And I don't hear from him for like 2 years. And then And then he like just the other day he's like look what I found, and he just like randomly sent it back to me after almost a
That's
decade.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Those
love
guys
the
are the
Wicked Kingdom
best,
boards.
man.
Honestly, I love those guys so much.
Yeah, they're great.
It's such an honor being their guitar tech and drum tech. So
Really?
yeah.
That's you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dude,
actually, and
bro, they're the most.
Oh God, I love
them,
great.
bro. They're the
love those guys so much.
Great guys. Actually,
Almost.
it was it's funny because their tour manager, the reason why I got to know these guys and the reason why like I ended up their guitar and drum tech was on that last Warped Tour run. Our bus, like me and my old band Sleep On It, we ran like that last Warped Tour and our bus broke down because we bought the shittiest like rental company for buses. And like we had issues finding everybody places to stay, and like I knew their tour manager because like we opened a recording studio together back before he like started touring full time. And I was like, yo, I know it's like no chance, but like I've been hanging out with you and Frankie. I know you guys have a junk bunk in that bus, can I get on? And he's like, you know what, like I don't think so, but I'll ask. And then Frankie heard Colin talking to me. He's like, yo, is that AJ? Fuck that, he's getting the junk bunk, get him in here now. And
That's awesome.
Like literally
awesome.
From that day they were just like, okay, so I guess you're part of the crew. Here's like when they would like fucking do their like drinks before their set, they would just be like, here you go, you're coming in on the like fucking huddles with us, like come, let's do it. And then from there, like just sleeping on the bus for 3 days. They didn't even empty out the junk bunk, they made me sleep on the couch, which I think is hysterical. But like after that they're like, oh, AJ can hang and he's been in a band before, he knows how to tune drums. Like, yeah, definitely. Pay me to come out on tour. Like, let's do this.
You learn on the go, bro. You learn on the go.
But no, I love those guys. Like, I can't say anything but nice things about them. So
yeah, I would honestly say, like, you know, yeah, we toured with them a lot, and at the end, it kind of got to like not a point of like, you know, why are we touring with them again? Because I don't want to make it seem like that at all, but it got to a point where like it almost felt uncomfortable touring without them, if that makes makes sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We were
It's like,
spoiled, man.
you
know what I mean? Because not a lot of bands are that cool. You know what I mean? Like top to bottom with crew and everything. Not a lot of bands are that cool.
Oh yeah.
You know? And so being able to get as close to Danny as I did, and Hunter as I did, and Drew as I did before he was out of the band. Travis is obviously a great dude too. Cooley's great. Do they have another person in their band? I don't.
Dude,
Charles.
Cooley plays with them, bro.
Yeah, that's what
Cooley's
I said.
with
Cooley.
them.
Yeah, Cooley's a really good guy. They're all really good dudes. All really good.
Charlotte
dudes.
sometimes, bro.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
All right. So next question. I definitely had to ask you guys this because one of my buddies from another band reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, I've been listening to Cab all week in preparation for your like interview." So he really wanted to ask, like, what was it like? And he really wants to know, what was it like throughout the whole like Whisper War writing period, recording period, and like what was it like working with Patrick Stone? So,
and looking back on it, it was the time of our lives. Like, we're just living in this apartment, a bunch of dudes. We were like randomly just like living off of like eggs and Red Bull, but we'd be at a studio all day near the beach. Like, we're just kids at the time. Like, it was, oh man, it was very crazy. The sessions with people who end up on songs and songwriting, like, everyone understands there's certain processes. Some people would come into the studio. Some sessions would happen with 2 or 3 members, things of that nature, to kind of really like, I guess, fine tune at the end. But I feel like us as a core, like, it was a really fun time. It's speechless on it. Like,
well, I mean, here's the thing. I
mean,
mean, being
Red Bull Studios, bro. Like, what?
That's the thing. Is like being 18, 19 years
ever.
old. You got to think of it like this. It's like Red Bull just built this whatever 10, 20 million whatever studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we're literally the first band to ever record there. So they've got just thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment. We're getting in the studio, we're peeling off the plastic wrap. I mean, that's how brand new this shit is.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It was like just
Well, there was
just
one
wild.
people before us. It was just 303 though. So like as far as like a lot of shit, like you said, a lot of shit was brand new first touch.
Yeah.
Because they're not using
But,
amplifiers or guitars. Like,
Exactly. So I mean, I think so. A lot of Whisper War,
I saw that, Ian.
a lot of Whisper War was pre-written. I mean, we had a lot of material going into that studio time. I mean, we had probably written, I would say, close to 20 songs. I would say maybe 18, somewhere around there, 20 songs. And then, you know, on top of that, to get a producer like Matt Squire, who had just already done so many successful projects, was a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and getting to work with someone like that who had experience and, you know, was there to help you, but wasn't overly pushy. You know what I mean? In my opinion, was really like a good first time producer, in my opinion. So a lot of Whisper War we hammered out in Ian's cabin in Mount Charleston, or in a garage, or, you know, wherever we could write. I mean, that was a lot of kind of in the room writing together, which I liked that, you know. Ended up getting tweaks, obviously. When you go in the studio, you end up obviously always tweaking stuff, you know, but a lot of that stuff we wrote straight up, you know.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, awesome.
Ian, I want to hear Ian's experience though, man.
I
because,
do,
like,
yeah. Like, I feel like
that's
I'm
cool.
pulling teeth with Ian. Like,
No.
I'm waiting for him to say something, and like, I'm just like, he's just like, yeah, it was cool,
calling
and I'm
him
like,
out.
okay, moving on. So, come on,
I'm
give
calling
us
him
a little,
out because
Ian.
watching him is unreal, because nobody knew shit about tones. Nobody knew a damn thing, bro. We were a bunch of kids, and Ian's in the studio requesting all this weird shit, making shit sound like a fucking Gila monsters coming out the amps. It was retarded, bro. I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I want to know, Ian. Tell us.
There
come
was
on.
definitely a lot of weird. Yeah, I was definitely trying to get as avant-garde as you could with a lot of different guitar tones and sounds. Just the timbre. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, being in that brand new giant studio, really, like every day you came in, you know, we kind of do our thing where we would sit in traffic on the 101 for 40 minutes, you know, hardly moving, and then it's like, okay, here we are in Santa Monica, you know, coming from the Oakwoods, and it's just like there's that every day, there's like kind of almost that build up. There's a lot of time to think going into each studio session with LA traffic, you know. So I remember spending a lot of time in the van just like, oh, okay, well, with this part, what would be just, what would this person do? And then what's the opposite of that? You know,
remember, like,
trying to do something.
Do you remember
bizarre.
like recording all that stuff and then like getting the rough or whatever we did that day, and just like sitting in traffic and just listening to the roughs or whatever we did?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were so like, and you know what's funny too is like, if we would have had more time, like we probably would have spent more time on it. You know what I mean? Like we were very like experimental, trying to do as much stuff as we could, but like we were limited as far as time and budget and stuff. Like, so we were definitely like pushing it. You know, we like to kind of get weird.
Yeah. It was definitely cool.
I have to say
Good
that,
learn.
like, that some of the songs on there that weren't singles are some of my favorite songs. Like, I think
Same.
I'm gonna be honest. In that '70s song, the guitar solo that is in the middle of it, it just every time I hear it,
right?
it just like fucking
Dude.
blows my mind, and like
So perfect.
it's so good.
So perfect.
It's
I mean, we
wanted to do that
dude,
in
we
a
wrote-
roller rink.
we wrote
like
that-
straight 70s style. It got shot down.
oh my god,
man,
like
yeah,
I can
remember
imagine.
the
Like,
roller rink.
We
thing.
wanted to
That
be
was-
like afros, and
Like
on
roller-
skates. We
yeah,
wanted to bring
like-
that whole vibe.
Oh dude,
Yeah, I
that
was
would have been a
pretty
great
limber
video.
back then,
In a
too.
roller
I could've
rink.
really gotten down.
I think legitimately all of the singles that actually ended up being singles were ones that I think the majority of the band didn't want to be singles.
Really? Okay. So
Yeah, for
how
sure.
how was that chosen out? Was there more of a like the like record label was like, okay, this is what's gonna be like they heard the song and then they recorded it and be like, okay, these guys, this is how we're gonna go, and like, or were you guys more involved in the process of like choosing which single and how visually it was looking? So how was that process done?
I don't know if you want to take
The
this.
hard truth, man. Hard truth. Like I feel like we were a part of like a system. You know what I mean? Like in a sense of like bands passing down torches. So like following a certain step process based on how we came into the situation was almost kind of like a thing that was just kind of had to be, you know, you take a deep breath about in the beginning, because you know some things you're gonna dress a certain way and maybe you might not like it on some days. You're gonna maybe play it, I won't name any, but you're gonna be sponsored by people that like you don't like.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of it. I don't know if that explains it very well.
No,
but,
yeah, definitely. Like it.
So with singles and it's weird.
Yeah. No, I totally understand, and the reason why I asked that is because I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, I've been in like two separate bands that have like reached like somewhat of like a good like career level. And you know, my first band, we were adamant of being like, okay, this is our vision, this is everything we do. Even in contracts, we were like, we're not going to sign with you unless we have everything. And then went to a band where like they've gotten in trouble because of like similar situations where like decisions were made and hand down, and you kind of just have to bite the bullet and continue. And I understand both versions of it, and I totally understand it. Like with like, you know, Make Out, they had opportunities to work with like Blink-182 and like Travis Barker and stuff, and like grow from there. So, and it was because of those choices that were kind of handed down to us. So I totally get it, and it's just interesting to hear how some bands like, you know, like I feel like the viewer doesn't know or doesn't understand the side of the industry where it's just like sometimes you don't have decisions to make, it's made for you. And I kind of just want to like shine that light on that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, every group is different.
Yeah, it is.
Every group is different because at the end of the day, you know, and I swore I wasn't going to come on here, and I don't want to trash anybody, and that's not my goal to, and I don't want to.
No, that's not what we're trying to do here.
I can only say what facts are facts.
Yeah.
And here's the deal is you can only get to what everybody agrees to. You know what I mean? So you take Whisper War, for example. You know, Alex, our singer, really was like, I'm not moving forward with this unless I get 51% of ownership of all the songs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we're stuck at this place where now it's like, okay, everything's in his name.
Yeah.
So now everything is now said to him and then passed down to us. Mm. So it's like whatever idea that comes up or whatever, it's like if we never even hear about it if he doesn't like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it turns into. So every group is different.
Yeah.
You have to.
I totally understand that. And like, you know, same for me. Like I was in a similar situation with my old band, and I was just like, you know what? I gotta step away from this, like for other reasons, you know, and like you.
But I will say, I will not to cut you off, but I will say in defense of it, when you're young and dumb, man, and you're looking up at things, like I mean, our signing audition, whatever, was at the Gym Class Heroes close off video shoot in a hotel room. Like
That's
when you just
awesome.
kind of like, when you hit that, you don't know, you look up to everybody around you is the best way to put it. And you can't, if other people are giving ideas and trying to navigate something that wasn't created by them, that's when you get the little bit of mess. But in theory, I think it brought a lot of, I don't know, good direction to everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I don't know. Like
I was just gonna say, like, I'm a fan of the music videos, guys. Like, the music videos seemed fun to do, like throwing paint and shit, and like, come on, there had to be some fun times with that. Like, that's more what I was wondering is like, who came up with that idea?
yeah. It's more back to just like living in the moment and like being like, man, I really got to be a part of like shooting a really dope music video.
Right.
Like saying that rather than being like, damn, that was like a Wednesday, randomly in 2007 or 8.
No, because we did the video for one of those nights, and then we did the video for All Run like in back-to-back days. Those are like
Bounce.
Oh, that's right.
Bounce.
Bounce and Bounce and All Run in like back-to-back days, and it was like 14-hour days or some crazy crap.
Yeah, it was pretty grueling, but my favorite moment of that whole experience was hearing about. So I remember I had like my girlfriend at the time was in LA with us when we were doing the videos, and I ended up staying in LA and hanging out with her or something, and then everyone else like went and did other things in LA or flew out to New York from LA. And Cash got left having to drive the van and trailer with this piano.
Oh man!
This piano back from LA to Vegas, and so he had to get it in the trailer. And I think we were there when he like got in the trailer, but Cash and I think Cash at one point. I hope you don't mind me. Throwing you under the van here.
I love this whole thing.
Made it to Barstow, California about halfway, and then just like pulled over in the Del Taco parking lot and just pushed the piano out of the trailer and just knocked it over and drove off and left it there.
They were so mad.
Fucking up gas mileage, but the shitty thing is we had to spray paint. Remember, we had to spray paint all that shit white for the Bounce video.
Take it up. We had to do everything. I'm like, y'all are over here filming videos and flying out. No, I'm not driving this piano anymore. It lives at Del Taco now.
It was pretty ghetto rigged in a lot of spots. You're like literally like the day before the video, like just like meticulously trying to paint our instruments white and like all sorts of weird shit.
Oh no! They made you paint it white. I thought they were gonna be like nice and give you like brand new like all white instruments and stuff.
No, we straight up.
You probably could have went to Guitar Center and rented one for $300.
I had a white guitar, luckily.
Okay.
And Johnson had a white drum set, but I think a lot of the others. Cash, you painted your bass white, didn't you?
We painted your custom-made.
Billy
the piano. There's like the piano, microphones, cables. I feel like there's.
We painted one of your heads, but like I remember getting a loaner.
Yeah,
I remember thinking after getting a bass loaner, I'm like, I remember being like, why don't we just have fucking rental gear?
That's
why
right.
Is this
Yeah,
so
we painted the
complicated?
amplifier white. I forgot that thing used to be white for a while. I painted it black again.
There you go. Gotta paint it back.
I had to make Jagger that shit.
That's fucking wild. Like, never would I have thought that they're like, okay, go. First of all, renting gear and then painting it white. When you returned it, weren't they like No.
We got the piano on Craigslist.
Okay.
And, like down the road from where we filmed the video, and it was like we were like, I think we did like a webisode of like.
You did. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube of us.
We were bartering with this guy that barely spoke English, and we paid like $200 for this piano, loaded it up, painted it white, used it for a day, and then fucking tossed it to the side of the road.
At a Del Taco in Barstow, California.
Yeah.
That's so
the first Del Taco, I believe, right? Isn't that the first
so
Del Taco?
great.
That is fucking
It's one of
amazing.
the first.
And I remember, because I remember Cash calling me, like literally, he's like, there were these kids standing outside, like sipping sodas, and they were just looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And he like pulls over, because you said the trailer was like, it was making like you sway the piano, just like fucking it up. And,
dude, there's no straps. The thing had fucking wheels.
Yeah, it was.
And they're like, "Oh, driving home."
I remember being worried for you. In a like on that drive.
I'm in a
and then finally, you just were like, "Enough of this shit," and then just fucking pulled over, dumped it, and took off.
Yeah. And then people.
I'm sure
had to
somebody
like,
got
why would you do
use
that?
out of it.
Bro, yeah, no, that was.
That
That was
sounds
dangerous.
fucking amazing. And honestly,
Solid.
Cash, I would have done the same thing if I was like the dude that was designated to take the thing, like the piano home. I'd be like, fuck this. We bought it from Craigslist. We're not gonna use this shit again.
Dude,
Yeah.
homie, don't play that. I never was really about like doing shit like that. I'm like, nope, this hurts, this sucks. What am I gonna do with it when it gets there? I'm like, nah, this is too much for one person. I'm over it.
Okay.
Can't do it.
All right. I gotta ask. Best tour prank, either done to you or like you've done. I gotta know, cause like end of tour pranks
Best
are
tour
great.
prank, I think.
Yeah.
We the Kings. We the Kings pulled a series of pranks at the Crazy Donkey on the last night of the Cobra tour.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, those fucking douches.
Oh, I gotta
That was
hear this
very
now.
good.
I have to hear this.
They replaced. We were the opening band on the tour, and I think Kings were after us. And they replaced all of our water bottles on stage with vodka. And at the
Sounds
time,
about right.
I remember seeing Singer fucking take a sip and just like, and I remember just like I just started chugging it, and then I think we had like a song left to go. And I think we were playing All Run, and I remember my strap lock ripped out of my guitar, so I'm playing like this. And I remember and then I think the last thing I remember before we got backstage, after just being insanely drunk over the course of like 5 minutes, was just crowd surfing, throwing the guitar down, crowd surfing, and then the next thing I remember, I'm backstage. Thanks, Kings.
Didn't we walk out the back door and wasn't like Cobra there with like hot dogs didn't they like throw hot dogs or something?
The Kings threw hot dogs at Cobra.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah.
what it was. Okay, yeah.
And then they
All
did.
right.
Oh, they did something to. I feel like they did something to Metro Station too, but I can't remember what it was. I can't. The
You
best
guys
prank I
hear
ever
me?
heard.
Hello.
Yeah,
The
we
best
can
prank
hear
I
you.
ever heard of the Kings
Yep.
doing
Okay.
was the prank they did to Power Space, where they unplugged the guy's guitar for his guitar solo, and they plugged in this shitty attitude guitar, and he's like up riffing it, and then they unplug him and plug it into this shitty guitar.
Oh man, I've heard of people.
I was not there for this, but that's the best one I ever heard. I'm just like, God, I would have loved it if somebody. They said they were thinking of doing that to me, but they were worried I was gonna get upset, and I was like, fuck, I would have
Dude.
loved it if you guys did that. That would be. I love those like shreds videos where they just overdub all the audio.
Yeah,
Like,
Creed
dude, I could have
shreds,
did
dude.
my own shreds. Like.
Creed
that's-
shreds.
Yes, sir.
Dude, you brought them up, Ian. I don't think Power Space ever got enough credit. Like I saw that
Oh, yeah,
dude
Power
singing
Space
in
was
like a
great.
metal band like 5 years later or whatever. He was like wearing a leather jacket, like ripping metal vocals, but like, man, my knees are quivering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they were
really
good.
liked that band. Power
Too
Space
good.
was great. Really enjoyed them.
They were good.
Nice. Okay. Keep it rolling, I guess. What moment in your whole career was like the moment like you guys were like, we've made it. We're fucking rock stars right now. I gotta.
As a band, or like I feel we all had these crazy personal experiences on top of like collectively.
I want the personal, like you, like personally, this is like, okay, now I know, like, and it could be just like, they gave us a fucking like writer, like with M&Ms in it or some shit, like anything, just like.
Mine is in no way, shape, or form trying to boast, but like it's unreal that I got to go on stage and play Saturday with Fall Out Boy during Bamboozle. I feel like that was and the funniest thing about it is like 10 minutes before that, we were raging all day. Like, and then I had to like do this. Ian's trying to show me in the back. And then Ian, I don't know if you remember this, but right before I get on stage, you're like, you know what? I got it. And you just turned the volume knob down, and I just ran out on that stage and just fake killed it in front of like 50,000 plus people, bro. Like it was so insane. I remember freaking out, like not being able to play 4 chords because we had been playing like vodka pong and hanging out with every band we had never met before. I think we were hanging out like Max Bemis and shit. Like, so yeah, that was mine, I think personally. And then on the level when we got the like I don't think you could say enough probably about the Rock Band tour and being able to be in some place like Staples Center sold out with like 30,000 plus, and like it's full by your last song and people are actually vibing with your music. Like that was a pretty unreal energy to kind of like feel. That was a very crazy experience.
Yeah. I mean, holy
Couple
shit.
for me, I think going to a place like Japan
Yeah.
and, you know, playing at a place where pretty much like no one really knows a lot of English, but they're singing all the words to your song. That's pretty special.
They were at the airport.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was weird. It was surreal. You know, little stuff for me, you know, being a drummer, like Cass talks about the Rock Band tour. I mean, Dashboard Confessional was on that tour, and Mike Marsh is probably one of the best drummers I've ever seen. And he, you know, he let me use his snare drum with his daughter's name etched onto it. Just like weird kind of little moments where it was like, you know, holy shit, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
You know, and then just being on tour and being in that little tour bubble, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like almost like nothing else matters. You're in your weird little world. You know, it's, you kind of look back on it and you're like, man, that not a lot of people get to experience that, and you realize how lucky you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Japan is definitely one for me. That was where I was going to start up. Yeah, just hearing yourself on the radio for the first time, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few, and I guess I'll kind of stick into the realm of this band in particular, but
no, man, go whole career. Like,
well, I guess also with this, yeah, the Staples Center thing was really cool. I almost didn't make that gig because the band left without me.
What?
Yeah.
The night before, I was MIA, and
Couldn't find him, man.
He did that a lot.
Wait,
I
okay.
do that a lot.
Why were you
No,
MIA?
Twice a year.
Okay, it's fine.
It's a long story.
Okay.
But now, hey, after this though, can we tell one fun story each? Because like you reminded me of something the other day that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about whatever you guys want. Yes. Go.
All right. So Ian, finish
Continue.
up my good story.
Oh yeah, I would just say probably besides I'd say like besides that with some other groups, you know, like just kind of more like international traveling, but also like getting to play like the late night circuit, like Conan and Tonight Show and stuff like that. That was really cool. That was a
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Tell us some funny stories, each of you, I guess, or fun stories.
So a lot of people forget, and I feel like people look up to the bands when they're like put in their face, and we had about a year or two where we were put in front of everyone's face. Mm-hmm. But we are 18-year-old kids from Las Vegas who don't know shit about piss. Like let's be real. Like we could play our songs, we could get it on stage on time, but we're always tired. We're running around, we're driving ourselves for years, living in a confined van. Like so sometimes things get weird because you have that extra drink and then you just don't give a shit and keep drinking. So one night I feel like we were in Tennessee.
Is this the story I reminded you of the other day?
Yeah, absolutely,
okay,
brother.
Okay. Yeah,
absolutely.
It was in Nashville.
So, and I'll have Ian chime in because he could give a little bit of a better perspective. But we're in fucking Tennessee somewhere, and we're at an Irish bar. We're at a McFadden's, and little do I know, we're with a big guy up there. I won't say his name because frankly I don't fucking remember it. But he was like the VP of like the whole fucking thing, bro. And he was excited. I don't know if it was after the show. He went to the show, and this guy ends up being like, you know, fucking millionaire. He's like buying us drinks or whatever, and we go to order our first round, and I always like drinking Corona with no lime. It's safe, it tastes like fucking water, basically. You can function. He's like, no, we drink Jägerbombs, and he smacks the fucking table harder than I've ever heard anyone smack the fucking table, like a boss. Just we drink Jaeger bombs. About 15 of these fucking things later, bro. We're with this radio rep. His name's Adam. Great dude. I think he ended up working for like American Idol and America's Got Talent. Like really cool dude. Intern Adam. We start going to all these bars and shit. I guess one of these bars out of the 3 we had went to, and I don't know this because somehow in this bar there's like some sort of techno Night of the Roxbury fucking type song playing. And I end up in what I believe a fucking dance-off with a bunch of buff-ass dudes wearing fucking tank tops. I start violently dancing near them. I start fucking, like really getting into it like I think we're battling. Like, crazy. Like, just getting fucking full step-up mode. So, the next thing I know is probably where Ian can probably take over for the story because I remember being in, like, a dance-off, but apparently I was not in a fucking
You were in a dance-off with yourself.
15 Jaeger bombs deep because some asshole was like, Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. So,
for some reason, you don't say no to, like, rich people on the road who are trying to take care of you. It's like a disease.
It's like a rule.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we drank Jaeger bombs.
All right, Ian, fill us in. Take us to where we're left off now.
So I'm going to just to give a visual description of, for anyone that's ever seen the second Austin Powers movie, where he's like right in her face and he's doing the lifting his feet up and kind of going like that, but not touching her, like doing everything he possibly can, but not touching somebody, but being this close to their face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cash did that to this guy, like twice his size, and him and like 3 of his bro friends were literally about to just like mush him into pulp. And I had to like push Cash aside and be like, guys, I'm sorry. He's just out. He's gone. Like, and they're like, well, all right.
Dance off.
But yeah, it was honestly.
But here's the hooker. We looked
funny
around. I guess according to Ian's story, and I gotta just believe him, this club was not only, and this is back in like 2008. It's I don't want to say it's a different, but like we're in a fucking gay club. Like we had no idea where we were. Like we just totally just rolled around.
People are just taking us to different places and
drunk as shit, probably disrespectful. If they beat me up, I probably would have needed to fucking get beat up. Like crazy experience.
Oh, we lost Cash video for a second.
We lost him.
Can you guys still hear me?
Look.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're in the good TV. Yeah, you're in the good TV now.
I'm on the good TV now.
There you go. That's actually hysterical.
Hold on, I'll be right back. But yeah, fill in the blanks. I know.
Cash,
You're good. Don't worry about it.
Hey, if you can hear me, I'll be right back. I got to send a text message and put my kid to sleep. But that's a fun one to really just be like. Whoop, whoop.
I remember that.
Oh, never mind. I'm cool for a minute.
I haven't forgotten all about that.
And like I said, back on tour, like this 3 years combined into our lives specifically together, it felt like 20 years, man. Like that was like a Monday, and then the next day, like something just as crazy probably happened. Like it was wild.
Yeah. I mean,
but it wasn't like but we handled our shit, man. We always showed up on time. We drove ourselves. Like we really were at the end of the day. Like we were professionals. Like we knew we wanted to be on that stage 30 minutes a day and like get that feeling that you get. Like the whole thing was like worth it.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand is the fact that like you may joke and think that it's like it's not that hard to show up someplace on time and like get everything where you need to, but like it is sometimes. Like there's unforeseen circumstances. Like
I mean, I remember times like there being such a long drive where it would be like each band would leave as soon as they were done playing.
Yeah,
like they'd have to load back in and just go to make the show on time. You know. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, trust me.
It's not easy.
Get it. No, it's not. Okay. Worst meal you've ever had on a tour?
Well, I'll tell you the craziest.
We had
a
craziest,
fan,
yeah.
we had a fan that baked us a cake, and she told us that she had put some of her blood in it. So that was a real thing.
Oh,
There's one. I thought there was one with. There's one with hair. Remember
I mean,
there's like cookies with hair.
I mean, I
We
would
didn't
imagine
we didn't eat
probably
these things, but
happened
they
too.
were.
You know.
We made a rule very very early on about pretty much no fan food.
yeah.
Unless it looked
Yeah.
so
you know.
good. There, I want to say there were some occasions where there was like somebody brought us like it was somebody we'd like know, like it was probably like Kelly McCormick. I remember bringing food all the time.
There was a lot of
and like we like when people we get to know and we trust, we would eat food and like like there was a pretty if it was like somebody we didn't know or just kind of got a weird feeling
random
we found the closest homeless person in the area or just
try to do something nice with it.
We're like, hey, but you want to let them know too, like we don't know what's in them.
Right, yeah. We didn't make these. So,
yeah, exactly.
I get that. Okay.
How about Cash being a dad?
Yeah,
Doing
Cash.
dad things.
Dad life in it.
Dad life in it. Yeah, he's
dad company.
He's checking on his son right now. I think he's putting his son to bed, he said. Which is...
He's a real man.
Yeah. You guys are all grown up now. Yeah, let's talk about that. What are you guys doing post-life? Like, what's going on now and, like, COVID and stuff? Like, what are you guys up to? Oh.
I'm wrapping up a new record. I got a new band called Karina that I started up with a good friend of mine about 7-8 months ago, and we got a video out. You can see on our social media and stuff. It's at It's Karina Twice or Facebook. It's Karina Twice. Karina with a C. So
it's so good.
Cool.
Thanks,
really
dude.
good.
But yeah, no, I've just been working on some new music. In the process of moving into a new place right now. So
nice.
Just avoiding people, masking it up.
Like
teaching some guitar lessons here and there.
There you go. Yeah. Alex, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, me. I mean, I'm recently engaged.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm playing here and here and there whenever I can. I'm in the process of starting to move now, so hopefully I'll get to play a lot more once we get in the new spot. But just gaming and just trying to lay low, not be around as many people as possible, and trying to do the thing, be responsible and all that good stuff. Nothing really too crazy. Just trying to stay healthy and stay clean and all that good stuff,
Cool. And Cash, you were away when I asked this, but I was just like asking the guys, what's life been like post music career? What's going on like during like COVID times for you? What's life like besides being a dad, obviously?
Crazy as shit. Yeah. So I work I do like digital marketing and SEO, but that's evolved into a more whatever position, more multi-functioning position, and we do like subcontracting, like fireplace and construction. And Vegas just kind of went through the roof with this whole pandemic. So been working the whole time. The only thing that kind of sucks is like the daycare thing. Like when you have a kid who's like 3, like it'd be cool to have a little more access to interaction and not like full classes or whatever capacity.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you honestly adjust. It's kind of cool. I don't know. If I'm not working, I'm literally at home. I'm with my kid, wife. It's nice, man. Kind of like blue collar status, but you find a lot of peace and happiness within just kind of like taking care of your bills and starting a little family. Like you feel like you beat the game of life and shit.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. I honestly, man, it's been weird. I feel like the whole entertainment industry is kind of like slowed down to like a halt, and like I'm literally debating becoming like a stock, like a day trader. Just to just go back to school.
We were talking about that before the stream started, and it was like, I couldn't imagine, being in a band now and having that start. I mean, could you guys imagine like, all that stuff that we had built, with the cab and doing all that local stuff, and then something like this hits now, and it would be like such a momentum stopper and such like a, it's just, it's got to be tough to be doing that right now,
Yeah. I can speak for Dan, man. I got a new project, and it is tough.
Yeah.
It's hard getting things off the ground and getting people together, getting all the stuff finished up, getting gigs, getting things up for the future. Yeah.
I mean, but on the flip side of that too is, you can really use that time to perfect your craft and really practice and do the things that, you really enjoy to do. You got nothing but time.
Yeah.
So
it's been a good time for refinement the last year. If you're okay with, being an introvert.
Oh yeah.
Just sit and just get as good as you can, refine.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know about anyone else, but I think this situation put a lot of perspective with people, with all that self-reflecting people got to do, to where, like, I don't know, little shit doesn't really matter anymore. Like, I know I personally became a lot more humbled and happy with everything that I have, more or less during this time, when you learn to, like, appreciate things more when you are restricted to so much shit. You're like, I really didn't, all the small businesses that were affected fucking sucks, and people should always shop small businesses, but hopefully everybody got to find, like, some inner peace throughout the process, spending all this time, like, indoors and shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, cool. Okay. I think I'm starting to run out of questions, guys. Like, you guys are very efficient at all these things. Ian, I gotta ask, what's next for Karina? Like, do you have any tours planned? Like, I know you just said that, like, you guys have some stuff coming out. Like, give us a little more glimpse into what's coming out, because I want to hear.
Yeah. Well, we're just wrapping up a full-length album, so that's kind of the first priority right now, is to get everything mastered.
Yeah.
Got a few more little things to track, but we're pretty much about ready to put a bow on it. Nothing tour-wise lined up yet. We do have a few shows in the local area. We're kind of based out on, like, the Washington State, Idaho border, kind of in that area. So on the southern border. So we have some little local shows around the area. We try to do some live stream stuff, but we'll see how that goes. But we're definitely gonna be having some things show up on our Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff in the next month or two.
Awesome. Well,
so, we're really excited about this album. It's been a lot of fun to make.
Everyone check them out. They're really good.
I was gonna say, everybody, please go check them out. Keep, like, updated on everything. Like, you're definitely gonna want to pay attention to it. I've been a fan of Ian's for a while. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I haven't heard it yet, so I can't be like, it's great. But if I had to put money on it, I think Vegas odds say it's gonna be an amazing album. So.
All right, so now we're gonna flip this interview around, and we're gonna flip it on you.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy.
what?
And now we're gonna we're gonna kind of see what's going on. So what's going on with you guys? What's up with this new song? What are we? Doing?
Do you guys want to hear it? Like,
I mean, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
Cool. Let me pull it up, I guess. Let me see. I legitimately.
By the way, I just want to
ahead.
mention, you asked who Ian's touring with, and it's probably hopefully Makeout, right? Like,
I mean,
that seems to make sense.
Let's do some shows.
I feel like
I'm just saying, man. When you hit the West Coast, bro, you grab yourself a hot off the press Ian Crawford with a new band when you hit the West Coast, bro.
I mean, honestly, I would love it. I feel like a dream tour would be us, y'all, and the Kings boys. I think that'd be a great time.
Crazy. That'd be awesome.
That would be fun. Totally.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna do merch and drive, bro.
Just.
I'll be all
the new
organized,
Don, man.
Dude, I'm gonna be just, like, hella organized for everybody.
That'd be
I'll
awesome.
Drinking coffee at 6 a.m., wearing my New Balance shoes.
You're gonna
my coffee mug has a picture of my kid on
New
it.
Balance shoe.
What?
Absolutely.
All right, so since you guys turned around on me, I took my jacket off, because I'm being interviewed. I don't know. That makes no sense. Okay, let's see if I can play this. Is this working? Log in. No, I fucking hate Spotify. Where's my iTunes and why is it being slow? I'm totally prepared for this, guys.
It's okay, man. We're putting you on the spot, man. No worries.
So, okay.
All the worries. I hope you're sweating.
Oh yeah, totally. Actually, I really am. It's hot as shit in this room because of all the like lights and equipment that I got on. All right. Last thing I gotta ask: what is there like? At least for me, I know specifically a venue that sticks out in my mind. But is there a venue that its bathroom situation was so shitty that you will never forget that bathroom? It haunts you to this day. Like for me, it's this place in Oklahoma where like literally you had to walk to like a Del Taco Bell to like shit 3 miles away.
Yeah, Oklahoma. You're not gonna find just any in the whole state of Oklahoma. You're not gonna find any good venue bathrooms.
The grog shop in Cleveland Heights.
That's a really bad one.
What was that
place? What was that place in Buffalo that me and Cash almost fought the bus driver?
Where we played with Play My Tees.
Yeah, me and Cash almost got in a fist fight with his bus driver.
Yeah, I played there backstage. Another band too. That place was bad.
And then Warped Tour, you're pissing and shitting in a porta potty for 3 months. That's not great.
That was horrible.
You're not loving that. It's not the best.
I think the worst is when we played. I mean, we like back in the day. Like if you go way back, bro. I mean, any of those venues on that first tour, anything we did in Texas in June of 2007 was the worst bathrooms we probably ever did. We were in someone's house one time. Yeah. It's like a fucking crack house or something. I had a bathroom.
That's awesome.
That skate park, I guarantee that skate park didn't have a nice fucking.
It did not. I remember that bathroom.
Yeah, like all those, bro.
What was that one venue that had like weird like glow in the dark carpet and the guy and the promoter's like wife or the promoter wanted to fight Marshall for Marshall?
Oh, that wasn't even a venue. That was in the middle of nowhere with the dog on the roof.
Yeah.
Next to Bridge.
There was a fucking dog on the roof.
Texas.
Bridge City, Texas.
Yeah.
Cash.
And you guys remember we got lost. We were about 3 hours late to sound check, and we pulled over in this like. It was like 120 degrees dry heat, and like
dog on the roof. There was a dog.
Yeah, there's a dog. No, this is before the dog on the roof, though. Do you remember that there was? We pulled over to try to get directions at this like. There's like this. There's church. There's nobody there, and we saw the frog.
The frog was upside down, dead on the ground,
and it was. Yeah. It was trying to. You could see that it was like trying to climb to the shade, and it literally got barbecued on the asphalt. That's how fucking hot it was.
And remind you, like,
you can
we're all
see it.
people
He was
from
like
the West Coast. We've never seen shit like this before. We were fucking more. We're like, where the fuck are we?
Oh man!
Poisonous spiders in the trees.
It was awful.
That sounds terrible.
That was that, and the PA was 2 Crate 410 guitar cabs. That was the PA in the house.
That is not a PA. That is no sir. No, that is not a PA.
It was weird. That was probably. I don't think I can think of a weirder Twilight Zone-esque gig than that I've ever played.
That was really weird.
It was a house in the middle of nowhere, and there were like, it was like, oh man, that was weird.
I just think it was like it was bad booking, and it was fucking pointless. Like I think they wanted to like put miles on us, but like. We played shows, like we traveled, like we knew it. Like I feel like some bands, I feel like, all right, 2 or 3 weeks, you just got to do this really fucking terrible thing. And if you survive, Florida back, you'd be all right.
We got to put you through your paces.
If you survive,
put
you through the ringer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
That's awesome.
Remember that guy that opened the fucking van up and then y'all woke up or some shit? He's like, it's okay. It's okay. Fuck, creepy ass weirdo.
Holy shit, that's terrifying. If that ever happened.
Hey.
Like I said, bro, that was like a Thursday.
That reminds me about that story because that was in Texas and we woke up in the middle of the night because someone tried to break into our van and half of us were sleeping in the van and half of us were sleeping inside at somebody's apartment. And so we were like, fuck that, we're leaving. Yeah. And so we drove to Oklahoma, and you remember we woke up at a tiger petting zoo.
Yes, that was, dude.
Was that Joe Exotics?
It was.
It
was
was.
What?
It was his.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
man,
up.
I remember it because I remember
dude,
being like,
when Tiger King came out, I did some research. I'm like, that's the fucking place we went.
yes,
to.
because, and I never got out of the van. It was all.
Yeah, I remember
I
you were-
slept through the whole thing. I was like, I don't fucking give a shit.
I didn't realize that night was
Yeah.
followed by the
Dude,
Oklahoma
we-
thing.
Someone tried to break into our van,
Yeah,
and we
no,
were like,
you
"Fuck
and I
that."
were in the van.
Yeah.
Singer was in the front, then it was me, and then it was you.
So Singer was-
But you guys forget the best part. Like 3 hours before that happened, we were hanging out with some metal band, and the guy like threw a fucking brick through the car windshield.
Yeah, that's right. The big fight broke out up in the.
I don't know. That's yeah.
What?
that's,
Okay, hold on.
We
Reel
were
it
hanging
back.
out with Ash
This is tour
Jones,
number
bro.
one.
all right.
Yeah,
Take
hanging
it
out with-
take it back. take
Let's
it
reel
back.
it back. You ended up at Joe Exotic's Tiger Petting Zoo.
Yeah,
How
God.
how many of you? Because Johnson said he didn't go. How
I
many of
didn't
you
go.
guys went?
I went.
I can't see myself going. I feel like I
If
wouldn't
I would have
cared
known
about
what that shit was,
Okay, did you
and
pet a tiger?
I would not have gone. But you
I
know,
remember them taking
Yeah, you're like,
photos
I've had
of
a
holding
tiger.
tiger cubs and shit.
yeah,
I remember,
I
like-
paid extra and played with a baby tiger and shit. I was fucking. This is so cool.
I mean, yeah.
And then when I
If
saw
I
that
didn't know, yeah, I
fucking
would have done the same
documentary,
thing.
I'm like, God damn it.
No, yeah, straight up, I would have done the same thing. Like, I'm glad that like my old band was like never into doing stuff like that, because like had that happen, I would have felt horrible. But
Dude,
I would have done the
yeah.
exact same thing. So
No,
don't
I
feel bad.
remember
Ian.
waking up in like this big ass parking lot, and there was this like fucking like tiger petting zoo, and I'm like, yo, what are I'm going back to sleep. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but dude, yeah, I'm pretty sure we were at fucking Joe Exotic's place.
Yeah,
dude.
of course we were. We were at a big ass tiger ranch in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma. Like, where else
It
were
was
we?
Wild.
All right,
Yes, yeah.
all
Like,
right.
shit was what? Yeah.
So
Like I said, that was a Friday
that was all right. Well,
after the Thursday happened.
we'll get back into more questions. I'll play the song, our new song, "Wish You Were Here," and
Yeah.
yeah, this is it. I hope you guys like it.
Hell yeah.
I'm keeping these in to listen. I'm gonna check on my baby with it.
Pictures you gave me, I threw them away. 'Cause it's been a year since you went to LA. And I try to tell myself it's gonna be alright, but you keep getting in the way. I take another shot to wash it down. I hate it when the truth comes out. It's 3 a.m. and the party's over. We're drunk again, but I'm starting to sober up. And the thought of us just won't disappear.
Awesome. Well, that was our new song, guys. I hope you guys
Nice.
like it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I'm gonna
we heard
listen
enough,
to it.
We
I'm
heard
gonna
enough
listen
of
to it
it.
on better speakers. It's hard to hear parts, but
Yeah.
what I could hear, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Seriously, that
Awesome, man.
means a
Well
lot.
done.
Hey,
It's,
Well done.
It's across all platforms out, so please, guys, go give it a listen.
Well done.
What? What was that?
Said well done.
Oh.
Well done.
Sorry. I don't know what I heard, honestly. Okay. Chat, if you guys have any questions, throw it in there, because I feel like Ian's going to have to leave soon. But I'm just going to end it with this question for you guys. How have you guys kept in touch throughout the years? And there's a lot of internet buzz on rumors and like saying you guys are coming back, you're going to do something. Would you be open to it? If not, don't even worry about it. Throw that question away and just let me know what is one of the best memories you guys have too. So that's like a 3-parter. Okay. You guys choose to pick.
if anything, us three probably keep in touch the most. Probably us three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful for that because like it was
Yeah.
such a nice like to have Cash follow me was stupid funny, and to have you follow me, Alex, was funny as shit. Like I just didn't think that would happen, and then to have this
Yeah.
whole happen was great. And then Cash texting me like literally 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or like an hour beforehand, going, "Hey, Ian wants to jump on too. You cool with that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I just got to figure this out logistically to
Yeah.
get all 3 of you
Yeah,
guys
that's a
on
lot.
here."
Yeah. for
No,
sure.
I'm happy as fuck. So I'm super happy
Cool.
you guys are in touch.
Yeah, we're happy to be on, man. And that's the thing is like, it's been a long time now. It's not like it was a couple years. It's been 10, 12 years now. So
Yeah.
At this point in time, if it's anything that we've worked on, and still to this day, if there's even one person who's interested in it or gives a shit about it, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what art's all about at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, we're just as happy to be on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think all 3 of us definitely keep in touch the most out of anybody. The other 2 guys, I mean, I don't know about Ian and Cash personally, but I know me, I've tried to reach out a couple times, over the years, and, don't really get too much, but those guys are busy doing their own thing, and, it is what it is.
I personally just wanted to kind of squash the rumors that are going around, like Cab's coming back, and I'm like, as much as like I want that, like I know in my heart of hearts that's hard. So
I don't know what they're planning on doing. I mean, I know that if they do that, I don't think it's gonna be anything
original.
close to like the original lineup. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
anything that they, at least I haven't been in contact with any of them, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I'm just going to say this. I think the original lineup was sick. I think you guys are fucking awesome. I'm so honored to have you guys on.
I appreciate that, man. Anytime.
This is
Anytime.
fun, man. This has been a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Go
I
ahead.
think if I could elaborate. So Johnson, you answered one part, right? Are we all taking one part?
I
of
mean,
a
you can take
3-part
them all.
question?
Go nuts, y'all.
Go.
Okay, give me a part. What was a part? Give me a random part. I'll answer the part.
Okay. So what was a good memory you have, like something that you guys cherish and hold on to this day?
I mean, even these. I think when you get past a certain level or an age, even per se, maybe it's like when you automatically turn 30, you just start thinking like even these stories that we were kind of bringing up tonight.
Yeah.
And I kept reiterating that was just one day of a week for 3 years, so like 1,000 days straight. I mean, every day had something about it that when you look back on it, just made it like super fucking interesting. Like I remember getting thrown out of a venue once with Johnson because we were smoking a cigarette before we, like during an encore, like these huge ass security guards like whooping our ass real quick, like. But like when you're 10 years later after those memories, you just look back.
What was that?
Like,
That was
like
in Chicago. What venue was that?
the subterranean,
Remember the
bro.
sub T?
Oh, yeah.
I
Sub
remember
T,
that.
bro.
I live
Yeah.
right
And-
next to that venue right now.
Yo, they
Well, and
showed
even
up.
after that,
You know, they straight up
And then-
carried me and Cash out of that place, bro, because we were smoking a cigarette upstairs.
Yeah.
Those
Out the
guys-
window with the window open.
Those
Sharing
guys are
it
kind of
real quick.
uppity.
They
And they're-
they were wild, bro.
Uppity
That was
asshole.
I forgot about that. That was a funny story.
I remember, but like back to that point, like I remember so many of those just little fucking things, like randomly. Like I remember one time I got pink eye and like fucking we were in some fucking weird city, and like one day I just woke up and I couldn't open one of my eyes. I had to get like rushed to the hospital, and like they're just funny. Like I don't know any other way to put it.
You know, there's been some pretty surreal moments too, like, you know, like MTV back in the day had this really popular show called TRL that was on forever and ever, and like we were straight up like on TRL interviewed by Snoop Dogg. Like you don't really get like pretty like any more badass than that, really. You know, Snoop Dogg interviewing you is kind of like, that's kind of the one moments where you're like, all right, maybe I've kind of done something here, you know.
No, they did the window screen thing, bro. Like it was fun. Like
it was
iconic. We got to walk to the window and like people were like having cab signs and shit. Like fucking cool, man.
Yeah, there's some pretty surreal moments there for sure.
All right, Ian.
But
gotta get
go.
some. No,
Yeah,
Cash, continue though.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it gives it. I think even this interview tonight kind of reflects, and like I've been having side chats with Johnson and Ian lately. I think just like I think we're at an age where we can almost like we have perspective now. It's not so much like this ever growing need to want to do something. So I think to like circle back down to the cab question. Truthfully, I mean, we tried to make something happen near the 10-year. Like I won't get into anything because like I don't want to get in trouble or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But like I feel like if there was a phone call in a one day and it was for the exact right reason, like whether that be for like somebody we all knew and loved or like maybe something like that, maybe in Vegas, like maybe like
hometown show.
Yeah. Aside from that, I just think like we've grown. We have perspective. We all love the game. Like, but like I said, I didn't even really jokingly mean it when I said like I'd be the guy with the clipboard. Like, I would probably make I'd probably be a great fucking TM. Like,
I was gonna say
that would
man.
be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and Johnson still fucking murders it on the drums. And Ian is a one of one. I don't even know how they do what they do instrument wise, but like, I don't know, man. If there was a demand for it, I don't think I would mind because. Just 5 dudes with some instruments doing something that they love. Like, how painful could that be?
Yeah.
No, we were just talking about how, you know, like Cash said, there's more perspective now. All of us are a lot older.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think any of us are really like truly closed-minded or closed off at the thought of doing something again. But I don't think any of us are really, you know, kind of holding our breath or counting on that to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand. I feel like I would have similar responses if people ever asked me if Sleep On It was coming back. It'd be like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, I would never, you know, I'm not, you know, 5 years ago, I probably would have had a different response, but, you know, now you know what I mean? There's no point in wasting negative energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not worth
it. And with a little more detail, I really did. I tried to get a ball rolling for a 10-year in Las Vegas of just like start to finish, 1-2 shows maybe. Like the money was great. Like I had never seen money like that. Like it had a demand for it, but didn't make it to the other end. Yeah. Well, it did, but
you got it to the red zone. You just couldn't make that touchdown.
Couldn't score, man. And I went through a period of being like excessively annoying in like all the right and wrong ways, but then like you just grow, man. I don't know. Get married, you have a kid, you realize what was important, you reconnect with some of your best of friends. Yeah. It's fucking simple.
I understand, and you know what, like I think that's a good way and like a mature way of looking at it. Ian, come on, you got to give me one of your favorite memories, man.
Oh god, favorite memories.
See, the funny part about Ian is there's so many good memories for Ian, but I'd be willing to bet he remembers little to no of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no, I the ones I remember, I'm thinking and making sure I can say them.
On them appropriately.
Like, is this gonna come back and bite me in the ass, or is this is this
like
not
it could be, man.
Oh,
Anything
man.
on the internet,
That's
these
also
days,
fair.
bro.
I'm not trying to
I
get you guys in
remember
trouble. I'm not trying to get you guys in trouble.
No,
I'm just.
but us
No,
three
there
were
were a lot of
actually
good
there
times.
for a situation, the cabin in the mountains with Bye Chad. Like that was probably
That was
one of
not
my
at the
favorite
cabin in
nights,
the
brother.
mountains. That was
No,
not
that
the
was
cabin
in
in the mountains.
that was a cabin in Seattle or something.
That was the cabin. Yeah, that was the cabin. Yeah, near Olympia. Yeah.
But that was a very, it had nothing to do with like shows, music, or band
Yeah.
or whatever. But that was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
The chat asks, which one of your hairstyles do you regret the most?
Mine.
Any of you got? Oh,
Ian, what did you do?
that's a good
bro?
response, man.
Ian, what did you do?
I got old.
Getting old.
Oh,
Got
gone.
old?
Yeah, I got old.
Looks good with the hat, though.
It looks
man.
good, man. You
You
look
know,
good.
one thing I do regret is I had really long hair for a long time. I wish I would have never dyed it. That's my biggest regret. I wish I would have never dyed it. I wish I would have just kept it because it just looked like every picture. I just looked so weird, and you know what I mean. It's just like I just wish I never would have dyed my hair.
Yeah, I had a red streak, like the emo red streak for a while
Yeah.
in college, like 2009.
Yeah.
Oh, not a good look, especially
Yes.
when they like, because they have to like bleach your hair, and me blonde is just like, you don't want to see it. It looks like Godzilla like waking up in the morning. You don't want it. It's not good. All right. Back in 5 is asking, is there a band in the music scene today that you'd call a modern day The Cab? Well, you guys are old heads, so I'm gonna throw my own
Old
2
heads.
cents into this, because even
Okay.
though I'm literally probably a year younger than all of you guys, there's a band called Marina City that I've always said sounded a lot like you guys, but
Marina City.
Yeah, in a modern day.
Okay.
They're like a Chicago band that I'm friends with, but like
All right, I'll check them out.
they used to be like a 6-piece, but they've always had like a pianist, and yeah, they're just their drummer Eric is great. So
Yeah.
that's, if I could throw my 2 cents in chat, that's who I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny too because like I don't know. I think it's funny because I would say a lot of the Cab's music, that style wasn't necessarily the type of music that a lot of us listened to,
Mhm.
which I think actually ended up being a good thing because I think a lot of our influences like came together in a way that kind of at the end it all came together in one piece. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Marina City I'd like to check out because that's something I've never really like listened to and thought they kind of remind me of what we used to do. You know what I mean? I've never really heard a band like that,
Yeah.
I think I have one that I heard the other day, and I think I sent it to you, Alex. If it would have kept on that rock path, I feel like I'm really digging. I believe, what are they called? I think they're called Bad Flower, and they have this very like, they have that like kind of sexy R&B like kind of intricate vocal thing, but then the guitar hits you in the face, the drum hits you in the face. It's got some interesting program. Like it just, I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of like trying to mesh those worlds together of like melodic, sexy pop with just like instruments in your fucking face.
Yeah. That's cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, Bad Flower, I think they're called.
Cool. All right, Cash, I gotta ask you this, because I'm a bassist and you're a bassist. How much shit?
Debatable.
Okay, fair. See, I feel the same way about being a bassist and being in my bands. I'm
Bro,
always
let
like,
me-
I'm the weakest musician out of all of you guys. Just tell me what
Yeah.
you want me to do. I'll do it. I can get it done. Just don't expect me to be like as good as y'all.
Yeah, the weird thing with me, man, is like I gave up like a lot of random spots on the way. Like my whole focus was like that first place trophy or the end game. Like I was always willing to be like the sacrificial lamb in the situation, but also I was the guy making myself a sacrificial lamb or booking the show or fucking collecting ticket money from other bands.
Yeah.
And running all these weird softwares for MySpace to like bring in fans from all over the US. Like it was I enjoyed that part of it. Like I think that was always really like my strong suit or calling. And like live, like I loved cardio, I loved sweating, I loved jumping on people. I remember like jumping off a few stages here and there until like they're kind of like, hey man, you gotta stop fucking jumping off shit. I'm like, man, but it's so like, what else are we gonna do? We 18 years old playing in front of thousands of people. I just wanted to like really fucking do it the way like people I look up to, you know what I mean? Like you ever go to a live show and you're like, man, these 5 guys were standing there, that was super dope. You're like, no, you remember the guy Gene Simmons like spitting blood, or like
the long tongue,
Angus Young wearing them fucking shorts
Schoolboy
and shredding it. Just like all of that, like I feel like is very, I felt like there was a lost art in that, and I really wanted to try to attempt to bring more of that to my style. Was like the live show. Because at the end of the day, like I had to play like 4 notes for fucking 30 minutes. Like it really wasn't some complicated process as a bass player in the cab during Whisper War days. Like very easy parts. 4 chords. Done.
Yeah, I think that's something that I know for us 3, 100% is that was something that we kind of grew tired of pretty quickly. It was like you had to be kind of like this cookie cutter, like kind of way, you know what I mean? Or else it was like, you know, it wasn't, you know, it, like growing up, to me, rock music was like being different was the cool part of it.
Sounding dirty.
You know what I mean? And then once
the homegrown intricacies.
And then
of the individual or the band itself.
And then
he hit a wrong note, but he drank 2 shots while doing a guitar solo and fucking spit on something.
But my bigger point is like once you get into it and once you start touring and you start getting into the swing of things, you really realize that just like anything, it's just a big popularity contest, and you got to do what you got to do to appeal the masses. You know what I mean? You can't, it's not like it was before, and maybe I've said this before, but I think we were us as a band, we were maybe born maybe 20 years too late, you know, 20, 30 years too late, unfortunately, you know.
I'll second that.
I understand that. Ian especially, man, he would have thrived back in the day.
Oh man, he would have been. Oh man,
it would have been
he's still got many years ahead of him, but yeah, he would have just killed it back then.
Yeah.
I'm working on the time machine right now. So.
There you go. Yeah.
Let me know, bro.
Let me know. Yeah, let all of us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, from
it's
a
your
bass
kids,
player,
Johnson. Your kids.
As a bass player, though, I was in jazz band in the 8th grade. I did what I had to do and picked it up quick. But yeah, that was never my, like, if I could tell you my top 10 goals of being in the cab and wanting to drive the cab forward, learning major scales on a bass wasn't even in the top fucking 10. It was, all right, let's get to the fucking venues. Let's be that discipline that, like, might need to, like, exist and fill some holes and shit. Like, be that asshole. Like, be the guy who yells at the promoters when you're not getting paid. Like, I just kind of, like, really dove into like almost like a half-assed like daddy role until we got management. But even on the road, they're just communicating with one dude. They're making sure the TM and you and him are on the same page. So it was just like a different role. And I feel like it takes a machine to build a product. Yeah. And with so many other people, like I just told you, man, I hopped on Bamboozle stage with Fall Out Boy, and the volume knob wasn't even, it was turned down.
Yeah.
And not to call out like dudes like the Secret Handshake, but that motherfucker never had his piano plugged in. Like, I mean, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah,
it's all about the experience. They get to go to school the next day and say they saw their fucking favorite band.
Yeah.
Period.
It's
the
kind of
fancy
a funny
shit
thing.
don't matter.
It's funny.
We're not playing like lounges in Las Vegas for 80-year-olds drinking brandy. I'll need to play some fucking Fruit of the Loom bass solo and shit. I need to fucking dance in front of these fucking teenagers that paid $20 and want to buy a shirt.
I mean,
that's all I got to fucking do, bro.
There's so much that I agree with, and I love how I didn't even get out a question. It was just like, so you're a bassist, and we all got to that point, but I totally agree with you.
Every real bassist knows. There's like 3 that I wouldn't consider, but you take the Pete Wentz's of the world, or you take the fucking, even you go to the rock bands, like you look at Nikki Sixx, like you look at you fall into it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And like, I was going to say, as a bassist, same thing. Like, I am one of the guys in the mentality where like, I'd rather put on a show than play a perfect set. Like, I'd rather be jumping up and down, like giving them an experience than like sitting still and making sure I'm hitting all the notes. And like, it's refreshing to hear that, because I'm not like you guys, I'm not trying to throw anybody in the bus, but I've been in bands where like I've gotten called out, and like there have been band meetings where like it's like, you played 2 wrong notes yesterday, like get on top of it. And I'm just like, hey, like, so it's good to hear that, like, the rock like, mentality is like still there,
I just changed the oil. I drove 10 hours yesterday, and you gonna talk about like your ass was taking a nap. You gonna get on my ass about playing 2.
One of the
get out of here, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't care if I get in trouble for this. One of the most pointless arguments I've ever gotten to on tour with somebody was they got upset with me for spending, I think it was like $200 to change the like fluid in the radiator, because you have to do that every couple years, and like they literally showed you the last time it happened was this long ago, 3 years ago. Your shit's gonna break down soon. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Like, let's do it. And literally they came back like, $200? Why would you do that? I'd be like, literally, like, here's everything. We need to get it done. Yeah. And like, I remember like the whole night, the whole atmosphere changed because like that. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to walk away and just like go do my own thing.
Expensive, man. People don't realize the amount of expense it takes to go on tour. It's not like, it's not like your label or whatever is just giving you unlimited resources to just like go do whatever you want. Like, we used to get $10 a day per diem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We used to get, we would not eat until we got to the venue to eat peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
I promise too.
Basically, jury duty.
A great night for us was, if we did really well in merch, we might be able to get a second hotel room.
Yeah, right. Or the nights that you can afford a hotel room, those are the nights.
Or the nights that you can afford a hotel. I mean, those are the real perks of tour. I mean, people kind of get a little bit of a different idea of what a tour is really like, but 97% of a tour is not the most glamorous thing in the world.
Meanwhile, you're wearing the same pants for like 8 days in a row, and you just
dude, I had
120 Texas.
No, bro, not 8 days, 2 months. I had show clothes. My pants were like crust. They would get soaking wet from playing, and they would dry overnight, and they would dry in a certain form. Like, they would be literally like.
The glamour kills pants.
Literally like rock hard, dried sweat, and dude, it was terrible.
Well, drummers are a different breed. You guys are fucking sweating all over the place. So like, that I understand. Like, if Cash was saying the same shit, then I'd be like, bro, we have questions we need answered. If you were like, I got stage show clothes that literally I take them off and they're stiff the next day. Like, I'd be like, Cash, you're sweating too much, bro. But Alex, that makes sense, man. Your whole body exercise for 90 minutes.
Bro,
well,
Warped Tour, I wore no shirt. Warped Tour, I wore no shirt, basketball shorts, and no shoes.
Yeah.
Literally every day.
Warped Tour is a whole nother beast. You guys had a bus though, right?
We did have a bus, fortunately.
Yeah. Because I have to give any band that ever comes on here and they're like, I did Warped Tour in a van, I'd be like, dude, you deserve an award.
Dude,
yeah,
you absolutely
physical engraved trophy from the trophy store.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I've heard it's next to impossible to do Warped in a van. When I did Warped, like I fucking hated it. But like
I remember a couple bands that did it in a van. They were like, yeah, we can't do this show, because there'd be no way they could make it, you know.
There was when we did it on the last like full tour run, there was a band from like Canada, Ontario. They were French Canadians, and they were in a van, and they told me like halfway through, and at that point I was just like calling them every day. As soon as I got to the like woke up and was in the venue, I'd be like, yo, are you guys alive? Like, are you gonna make it today? Kind of thing. Just because like I was so worried about them. Just like, and those guys would go hard the night before at the barbecues, and I'd be like, how are you here? We have like a 12-hour drive. They're like, we're at the end of the day. It's like, still.
Yeah, no, there'd be no way in hell we could have done that in a van. No fucking way. No way.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past us because truthfully, man, like
we did do an arena tour in a van.
Yeah, like we were doing 10-hour drives, like big load-ins. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like we survived everything we were put in, and I don't think that's the perspective we've ever really taken.
We had
recent years.
But you got to think about it though. An arena tour, we had some long drives. When we got there, we were using professional sports teams' locker rooms. I mean, we had showers. We had fucking. I mean,
I'm just saying, I wouldn't put it past
it was. I mean, maybe, but dude, on a van.
We did 10 in a van, and one dude had a fat ass camera. What do you mean? The whole thing was like, I won't take away the glamorous shows, but we can't act like any one of those drives was fucking like easy or awesome. We drove through the night. We had to like be like, we'd be leaving at like 6, got to be at like some fucked up arena by like 8 o'clock in like Newark, New Jersey or some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Warped Tour was probably the most fun tour I ever did because it was a tour that I wanted to do as a kid. So getting to do it was an experience, but it's a difficult tour to do. 100%, it's a difficult tour to do.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
All right, guys. Ian's looking a little faded. I've had you guys on for 2 hours.
I have something I gotta take care of, so I'm gonna have to dip out. But
okay.
AJ, thank you so much.
Ian, thank you, man. Like, it was such an honor and a treat to have you on. So I hope we talk more in the future, man. So
I love you.
We'll stay in touch, and I'll send you some of the new music we're working on. So.
Please, man. I would love it. And guys, please go check out his new band, Karina, correct?
Yes, Carina, and then social medias, it's Karina twice.
Please.
Spelled out.
Yeah.
Send me a picture of your nipple.
Oh, you got it, buddy.
So,
good.
Thank you, Ian.
It's great.
I appreciate you coming on,
thank you guys so much. Take care.
Yes, sir, brother. See
you later, buddy.
Yeah. Peace.
There you go.
Yo, AJ, thanks for having us on, man. Let's do it again.
Definitely. I just want to say thank you guys again so much for just being on and like hanging out. And let me just say this. Finally, I appreciate everything you guys have done. I appreciate all the work you guys did and, showing us, the youngsters, what, goes into it. And, like, I don't know, man. As a high schooler, this is such a fun thing to do.
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
And I'm just trying to get cash in here. Last second. Here you go. Yeah. There you go.
Save the day.
One piece of advice I can give to you, man, is like, really communicate with your band members. I think that kind of goes undervalued a little bit. Really communicate with your guys and, really make sure that you guys are all on the same page, because when you're not, that's when things start happening. And I think, you guys have all the talent, you guys have the sound, and I think it's right there. And I think it's all right ahead of you guys, but it's also up to you guys too. And I think, like I said, communication and and having a goal, and you guys collectively kind of working towards that, I think is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Don't take it for granted now. You know what I mean?
Don't live in the moment, but like, have a plan. And I think it's a lot different nowadays, but there's so much awareness towards like even mental health and like Johnson said, communicating. Like, if y'all got a problem, like, I don't know, pay a therapist $300 and like work it out. Cause like the think about like All Time Low, for example. Think about bands from 10 years ago that are actually around today, and it's all the same people in the band. There's like two. There's like, if you can survive yourselves, look at the Maine. They're a perfect example. Brilliant musical careers.
Yeah.
Because they kept it contained within themselves. And I know Tim Kirch is an amazing manager who just probably doesn't allow shit like that, man. He probably just knows you guys love each other, so just talk about it.
Yeah.
And one piece of advice, you get lost in it out there because it's a weird fucking world, but yeah, always speak your mind appropriately.
Yeah.
And don't make it all dramatic, like you said, people calling meetings and like doing weird shit. Just like,
yeah,
you pull someone to the side, especially like one-on-ones are probably always best too. Like, you got something with one dude, just fucking talk about it, man. It ain't shit. You don't need to build on it and sleep next to him for months at a time.
Yeah.
Like, it don't make sense.
Yeah, that is something that I definitely, unfortunately, like I learned very much firsthand. It's just like, it's easier to just try and squash whatever beef you guys have within the moment and like have it just be between the two of you. The more like people get involved, the more issues you have, and it festers, and like it's hard to sleep next to someone you like are pissed off at like constantly.
Yeah.
So,
and
like,
a lot of times too, it's like you both have the same goals. Like you both want the same thing. You know what I mean? It's not like you guys are against each other because you both want to be as big as possible. So
yeah,
you know,
it's like, you know, we were talking football before because, you know, 49ers suck, but
yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Green Bay also sucks. Go Falcons.
Hey.
A bunch of hoes.
Go Falcons. Let's go. But no, it's exactly like what you said. Like you should have the same goals. You're on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, the end result is the same. Like, you know, there's no need to get nitpicky across, like, you know, I want, you know, this, I need this needs to happen, my name needs to be here. Like, they're you know, when the goal is the same, that should be the focus, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
Just stay close to your boys, man. I mean,
it's a marathon, man, not a race.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a race. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta keep writing, keep, you know, hacking away at trying to find, you know, your sound and refining it and perfecting it, and you know, keep that goal in mind and keep it going because you guys have it. So
thank you, man.
And keep your family close. I think that's another thing. I think I made the mistake, and maybe others as well. But like, I think if the people closest to me could have understood the world I was in more, rather than just like, oh my God, they're on TV today. Like, it might have been a different perspective to help like me gain perspective moving forward, like how to communicate with people, or like, I am going through these things. How can I get better at helping myself through them? Like, self-awareness, bro. Like, it's weird, but it's been a much more of a topic for the last few years, and I feel like people should really, like, there ain't no shame in checking yourself. There ain't no shame in admitting if you're an asshole. Like, just be about it. And yeah, eye on the prize, like Johnson said. What you guys are doing now, you guys already got a foot in the door. You know what I mean? Like, another, you know, spend the 5 years. Look at your boys, We the Kings. Look at All Time Low. Look at the Maine.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing, and they're still able to create music and get houses and start families, and they made it through whatever time that most people don't, which is that grow period of becoming adults while you're fucking kids and handed an opportunity a lot of people don't get.
Yeah. I mean, damn, you guys said it perfectly. Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point, guys. Like, I don't want to keep you too long. Too. It's been 2 hours.
We'll leave it at that.
So
nice.
let's leave it at that, guys.
Nice.
Thank you again. Thank you
for
to
having
Ian
us, man.
for
That was a
coming in.
blast.
Alex,
Absolutely.
Cash, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we can do it again in like a couple months and just be like, all right, let's talk more shit. Let's give more dumb stories.
Let's play some games soon too.
You know what? Normally what we do is like we have one of you guys challenge me or have both of you guys challenge me on whatever, but it's a late night one. So I'm going to say, let's do it to be continued. Cash,
yeah, for sure.
If you want to challenge me on Mario Kart, any challenge you guys got, let's do it. You're more than welcome to come back on and challenge me.
All right, cool.
Y'all are way more fancy than me.
We'll figure that out.
I'll be at the watch party while y'all are shooting motherfuckers on video games.
All right. Cash, I'm going to call you to be our TM one day then. How about that?
Please do it. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Well,
there you go. Bro. There you go. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again for coming
All
on.
right, thank you, bro.
Peace.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
night,
Nice
guys.
seeing y'all.
Have a good night,
You
y'all.
as well, sir.
Peace.